I'm Jordan Lulich. This is the Lulich Corner, and today we get the opportunity to sit down with Colby from Hummingbird Care Services. Our podcasts are really simple. It's all about bringing you education, information, and just what's going on in the community. And today we have the opportunity to sit down with Colby. Now, before we dive into too far onto what he does and what Hummingbird Care Service is all about, I want to give Colby an opportunity just to introduce himself so you know who he is and who we're talking to. So, Colby, first off, thank you so much for joining us, for taking the time to come in and sharing about you and your business and everything that you guys are doing, all the positive things you're doing in the community. And before we get started with talking about Hummingbird, I'd love for you to just introduce yourself and share a little bit about you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me out. I'm Colby Bechtold. I'm the founder and CEO of Hummingbird Care Services. I was born right here in Vero Beach, so I'm a local boy, grew up here, went to Vero Beach High School,
Nice.
so
One of the few.
yeah, there's not a lot of us left anymore, but yeah, I saw, I grew up in the medical community here, starting at Indian River Medical Center since, the day after I graduated high school, and started as a stock boy, working all the way up to becoming a registered nurse. So, I've seen it all through the medical community. So it's been a great journey.
Nice. And so is that really like where this all started? Was you starting as an RN or starting as like a stock boy working your way up to an RN? Or tell me a little bit about that story about how Hummingbird came to be Hummingbird Care Services.
Yeah, well, it's a really long story, but I'll shorten it up for you. Really, as I became a nurse and kind of grew in my medical capacity within the community, I saw a huge need, and my grandparents were going through this at the time. They both had Alzheimer's dementia, and as I was learning, I was very familiar with the hospital side of things, but the home care side of things, it was very foreign to me. So as I was learning these things from the care receiver or the family side, I was really learning and very shocked at the different things that were available in the community and that weren't available. So when my grandparents passed, in their honor, I opened Hummingbird Care Services, to kind of honor them, to provide high quality care that I wish I could have given them a better opportunity to when they were alive. But, in their honor, now we have Hummingbird Care Services and we give that to the community.
Nice. And so what are your services encompass? Like what type of home healthcare services are you offering to the community?
Sure. So a lot of people get confused with home health. So it's important to know the distinction between skilled services and non-skilled services. We're non-skilled services, so we do the day-to-day care, the bathing, the cooking, the cleaning, all the things that are not like a nurse. Skilled care are the things like physical therapy, nursing, pill boxes, all the things that require a registered nurse or physical therapist. Those are completely separate, and those are covered by your insurance, and usually a doctor has to write a prescription for them.
Okay.
Ours are private duty, so it's really whatever you need and what your family wants to happen.
Okay. And you guys performed what, 2020 or what year did you officially start Hummingbird?
2023, actually.
2023.
Yeah.
Okay. So very recently.
Yeah.
And so since 2023, like looking you guys up, like I see like accolades and awards. And so, what is it that you guys are doing? Like you've started within the last 3 years, you're already getting a lot of publicity in the community. What is it that you're doing that's setting you apart from the others?
I think what set us apart was just focusing on quality. Treating these people, every person that comes onto our services is not, a lot of people, they just look at their profit margins. Ours, we're looking at the quality of care and making sure that people are truly receiving the care that they deserve, and making people sure they understand how the care can be received, and making sure that they understand that maybe their expectations are, meeting what we are able to provide. And it's all an education opportunity for everyone.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, it's very important. You hear horror stories about some of the experiences that people go through with different roles and different companies that they hire. So that's awesome that's you guys are kind of laser focused on that. It's very important to be. And so does that kind of go in? And you might have to educate me a little bit. There's an agency and then there's a registry. You guys are an agency.
Yes, correct.
And so what's the difference between the two?
So, and this is really important, and it's something I learned the hard way when taking care of my grandparents was, an agency is actually employing the caregiver. So we drug test them, we are responsible for them, we train them, we have workers' comp insurance, all the things that make it show that you can be either the family or be the patient. A registry is strictly a referral service, and a lot of people don't realize that all they are doing is referring a independent contractor caregiver to you, and you are the employer. and they cannot train them. They cannot drug test them. There's many things they cannot do, and they don't tell people that. And it's a huge education opportunity for the community. So if you want to be the person managing the caregiver, then a registry may be a good option for you. But a lot of people, they don't want to be the employer and the patient, or the employer and the family. They just want to be the family, so.
Yeah, that makes sense. So does that kind of go into like some of the services that really that differentiate you? Like I know you guys do fingerprinting and some other services, right? Is that kind of inherent in you in Hummingbird being an agency? Are those some of the services that allow you to do those other services? And what other services besides fingerprinting are you guys doing?
Yeah, so fingerprinting is fairly new for us. We saw a lot of our caregivers and our our colleagues in the community that are doctors or whatever. They were looking for these opportunities for fingerprinting or whatever. So we did it in our office. So now we're kind of a one-stop shop. In addition to that, I come from an ER and an ICU background for my nursing. So technology is very important to me, and safety is very important to me. So we formed that SafetyNet program. And the SafetyNet program is a technology and a program built around technology to keep people safe. So we've been able, with our own patients and our own data, we've reduced patient hospitalizations by 40%, which is a huge number. So and keeping people safe at home and proactive care is much more important,
Yeah. So apart from keeping people safe and fingerprinting and all these amazing services that you guys are doing, you're also super involved in the community, right? I know, Vero Beach High School, I believe you reached out to me recently on an opportunity there. The Opera, Rotary, Garden Fest, so many different opportunities.
Yeah.
Why do you do so much for the community?
I was born and raised in this community, and I don't think you have to be born and raised here to reach out and support a community. Vero Beach High School, I think, is a great opportunity because it's twofold. I reach out to the kids and I help support them in their athletics and anything else I can. And then as they grow up, they go, "Hey, wait, Hummingbird, I've always wanted to work in medicine. So maybe that's a first step for me to work as a caregiver." So we have a lot of younger people coming in and working for us who are fresh out of school, who are interested in maybe pursuing a career, and we train them and teach them those things. The same thing through Rotary, giving back, putting service above self. That's an important aspect of our community to teach not only the people around us, but our young people, and show them and be that leader to show them how it's not all about me. It's about supporting the people around us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you definitely don't need to be from here, but it just feels good giving back to the community too.
Definitely. Yes.
Making a positive impact and making something bigger than just than yourself.
Yes.
Or your team. So where's Hummingbird Care Services headed? What does the future hold for Hummingbird?
So we are unlimited. That is for sure. We have a very bright future ahead of us. We are happy to announce we're opening our second location down in Stewart.
Nice.
So we have a lot of demand in that area. So as we have grown so well, and we are the #1 rated home care agency on the Treasure Coast right now, we want to be able to have more boots in the ground in that area so that we can support our patients and give them the same high quality care that we do here. So that's opening, and there's a few other things that are coming in the future too.
Cool. Yeah. If people are interested, if they want to hear more, if they want to find out more information, how can people find out more about Hummingbird?
Yeah, sure. Our website is a great resource. We have hummingbirdcareservices.com. You can always ask. There's a forum on there. You can ask for more information. We also have the Guide to Home Care, which is a great resource. Even if you're not considering Hummingbird, it has checklists in the back. It has resources all throughout about different things you may need in your journey, such as legal, skilled care. Everything is in there, so you can always grab one of those guides to home care, and there's a checklist in the back. So as you're interviewing caregivers or companies to help take care of yourself or a loved one, you can go down that checklist and make sure you're getting the best care possible.
Nice. Is there anything else you wanted to share before we wrap up?
No, I mean, this weekend we're coming up on Under the Oaks, and even though there may be some inclement weather, we're hoping to see everybody out Under the Oaks this weekend. And also on the 21st, we have the car show coming up with Under the Oaks as well, which I'll be at as well. So we look forward to seeing people in the community, and thank you so much for having me here.
Awesome. Colby, thanks so much for coming on, for sharing everything about Hummingbird Care Services. Thank you for listening. I'm Jordan Lulich. This is the Lulich Corner, and we'll see you next time.